Hey guys, so this is not much of a story, but when going to pick a hat for today, I was going to put on a Cowboys hat, and then I started thinking, oh, like sometimes you get these initial thoughts from your subconscious mind asking you like just kind of dumbass questions that don't matter, but it'd be like, it wasn't even really a question. It was more so of a man. I hope nobody give me shit for wearing this Cowboys hat, like I've gotten many times in the past. But here's the thing, and I play out scenarios in my mind, and this has happened in recent times. I would say like, I don't give a fuck about the Cowboys. I really don't, because I don't. All right, and it's not because there's another team that I favor. I don't really favor any team. That was a dying thing for me. Yes, I was a fan, and it's like well, there's some type of manipulation going on that I cannot even define yet. But it's like you have this fandom, you're loyal to a team that you don't have any stake in. Maybe you do. I hope you do. That way it makes more sense. But you have no ownership in. You just pledge loyalty to them. You only pay attention to this team, no other team. And that's what it's like to be a sports fan. And I actually want to speak on other elements as that, but because I definitely like sports. I've separated from the fandom. So in the NFL, it would be all 32 teams. In the NBA, it'd be all 30 teams, and so on and so forth. But I want to kind of zoom out even more because a lot of us, we see these athletes as like heroes. They're athletic heroes. That's it. Athletic heroes, okay? And it's because they've been put on such a big stage, such a high pedestal that we actually look at them as if they have this great deal of importance. Like they're playing a child's sport. All right. And any professional athlete, and I've heard professional athletes say this, but any professional athlete who isn't full of themselves, who isn't arrogant enough to not understand that, they will tell you that much. They will tell you that they're playing a child's game and they're getting paid, I mean, handsomely for it. And look, I'm not. I don't think that they should get paid less. They're getting paid what they're getting paid for a reason. It's entertainment. The people speak. The customers speak. The customers are always right. If nobody were watching sports, they wouldn't get paid as much. But I just want to say, as we tune in on, how these people came up and things like that, these sad stories, they came from the hood and now they dribbling basketball for millions of dollars. It's not that significant. Overcoming something is very significant. Where they ended up is only significant to us because they get paid a lot of money. They get paid a lot of money to, typically in America at least, make white men a lot richer. Okay? And that's why the NBA became a mostly uh, black sport. It's mostly populated by blacks, and baseball is on its way to people of color being the majority. Probably a lot slower than it is for basketball, and the NFL is probably mostly black people, 75%. Okay, and not a lot of owners. Okay, and of course the owners are definitely willing to pay them all this money because they're making a lot more. Okay, and they don't have to risk their lives, and a lot of them get treated like horses, especially in the NFL. They even call certain running backs workhorses, or we got a stable, things like that. Make money off of them. If they survive their career, okay, they'll get paid. But if they get a few concussions and they out 4 years, guess what? It's a draft every year. All right, so I don't even want to compare this to slavery. People have done that. You know what I'm saying? And even I would be willing to say, "Hey, sign me up for slavery like that." I get it, but when you think about people who have died over sports, and I don't even mean playing it, I mean being a fan. Look it up. Raider San Francisco 49ers game, for example, people fighting in the parking lot over a goddamn team. You mad because a goddamn team lost. Like, and this is why I always talk about priorities and things like that. Because if your priorities are in order, you're not fighting over no goddamn team. You know. I remember a couple years ago, somebody made me feel very kind of emasculated, and it was like, I don't really understand how you can be in a crowd cheering on a bunch of men. You got a jersey with another man's name on your back, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, and it's like, logically speaking, I can't really justify why I'm wearing somebody's name on my back. Like, he's my favorite player. He's good at doing this thing, this athletic thing. And at the same time, you know, if I were lucky enough to even this is kind of a disconnect. I understand, but this is where there's a disconnect. If I were lucky enough to be sitting close to where the players can see me, and let's say on their way back to the locker room, I'm wearing, I don't know, Giannis Antetokounmpo's jersey, like a lot of people do. I try to say something to him, like, "Hey, what's up, man?" You don't say nothing to me, even if you saw me. I should feel pretty stupid that I'm wearing a man jersey who won't even say anything to me, man. So it's like, collectively we make these guys richer, and it's like they don't. I mean, they don't know us, and it's like, also, I be thinking about another thing. You know, for other races, you know, the NBA, for example, is entertainment. For black people, that's our way out. Now, obviously, I don't see that for me, and I don't see that for most black people. But like, man, a lot of us, man, that's our way out. You know, we get really gifted at something. We live in this tiny world where we are the best. We're best on the AAU team or Boys and Girls Club, best on a high school team, maybe even the best on a college team. But man, there's so many people fighting for a limited amount of spots that, according to the numbers, that, you know, most of us we're just not going to make it. But to speak on how something like this has gotten such a big stage, even though it's, you know, it even falls short to people in esports. I mean, it falls short to esports now. You know, esports is a big thing. Actually, you know, I respect esports more than I respect actual sports. In some regards, I respect actual sports more because you're being active. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I actually don't want to look past. That these athletes are athletes. They're healthy. All right, that's important. That really is important. But for many years, sports have been used as a distraction. All right, so I'm not making this up. There's actually a lot of literature on this. I'm talking about going back to ancient Rome and things like that. It was used as a distraction. All right, and it just so happens that it's a distraction, makes a lot of money for its owners, the gamblers, the players. You know, not so much the fans. It's a time waster. And I ask myself, how can something like this get so many eyes? And it's because it's exciting and it's spontaneous. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's exciting. You know, probably. I mean, well, at this point, it doesn't matter how good it's promoted. You know what to look for. But and interesting enough, because you know this is a time where sports are shut down. It's July 4th. It's the 4th of July, and I think a lot of us have realized that, you know, one, that sports was a big part of our life, and two, because we learned to adjust without it, that we didn't really need it. And also, nobody's really thinking about the athletes too much right now. It's kind of a, all right, what can you do for me now, type thing. And of course, some people miss sports, and I understand why, but it's out of sight, out of mind for me. You know, and because I always have this. It's because of a habit. I have this thing where I would like to kind of stay up to date with stats or what players on which team. But at the end of the day, none of that really gets me any closer to where I want to be in life. And it reminds me of what I was. I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but it does kind of remind me of one of my failed books. And somewhere I can find this literature, but I don't know where it is. But it's on one of my old computers where I was writing about something, and I called it finished products. And I said that every time I look at the game, the players, the coaches, the people with the popcorn, the tickets, and I'm watching people at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching work in action. I'm watching while I'm suspending what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm not where I want to be in life, and I think I'm just kind of escaping from the rest of the world. When I'm watching people hard at work. All right, I'm watching. It's no different than going into McDonald's and just watching somebody flip burgers. Just not as exciting. You know what I'm saying? Not as exciting as watching somebody do an outrageous dunk or anything like that. But I don't know. The biggest hook is the overall fandom, loyalty to a team. And once I started separating from having loyalty to a team, the Dallas Cowboys, or with the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, then one I started to kind of appreciate the sport more, taking interest in just the sport, but then also it made me take some steps back because it's like this is really getting me nowhere. A game that's 2 hours and 30 minutes. Even though I had created like a system that I didn't always follow through with, but maybe if you want to feel a little less guilty about watching basketball, for example, you create a game for yourself, and basically it's 5 push-ups per point. So every time they score a layup, you do 10 push-ups. All right, you can even add something for the steals or whatever it is, and then it would be like, okay, during commercial, just do sit-ups, and in between baskets being made or whatever, do some squats or something like that. That way, at least you got to work out while watching the game. All right. Kind of reminds me of what Herschel Walker used to say, or what he said. Um, that he would watch TV and during the commercials, then he would work out. No, so just something like that. But overall, I just wanted to make this video not to spit on the craft of sports and things like and make myself I don't want to make myself a hypocrite. I do love sports, but I understand that in the grand scheme of things, it's very unimportant. Besides the fact that you can focus on your fitness and your health, but that's not that's not going to just happen because you turn on the goddamn game and watch it. You got to get involved, and that's the thing. I'd much rather be involved because of the physical uh, benefits, the health benefits. All right, nothing's gonna happen sitting on the couch eating, bad food, yelling at the goddamn screen. And we all know this. And we also know that there are more important things in life, and other things that we can be spending our time on. You know what I'm saying? Can't get mad at anybody unwinding, watching some television, but the complaints of the majority are what they are for a reason. And most of us, we're not happy with where we are in life, and that's the reason why we try to escape. Is the reason why we like these distractions, but it's not sustainable. All right, it's not sustainable for a happy life. We can't just keep escaping and expect happiness to find us, to expect for things to get better.